Back again with another video. Video ya maobane ha ebe ala shebella kopolelo e shebella e bitswa ke na le tshepo ho Basotho. Tshepo ya ka ke itshetlehile ho Basotho hobane I believe at some point re tlo ba le kutlwisiso mme re tlo kopana kaofela rona ba Free State ba Lesotho re kgona hore re etse naha e lengwe ka puo e lengwe ka setso se le seng. Jwale he kajeno tla bona fela rona re bua kang ka tla nka nako aka kajeno ka tota haholo on the stream hobane re na topic tse ngata tse re ka buang ka tsona mare tla bona fela rona live stream e tsamaya jwang. Ke tshepa hore le phetse kaofela lona mo le leng teng. Ke a tseba dintho di bonolo hona jwale ho thata haholo. Ho thata haholo mona naheng ya rona South Africa. Le Lesotho ke ntse ke utlwela fela ditaba tsa hore le mo ekare hona le mathata a mesebetsi le ntho tse kang tseo. So batjha haholo ke bona ba llang ka taba ena. Ho ntso tshwana le mona South Africa. Ka nnete ha hona mo ho leng bonolo teng. Mare re tla etsang ra pusha, and I believe that the way out for us is to build a culture ya rona. Setso sa rona is the best way to make sure we can build our kingdom. And develop ourselves according to our culture. Culture is everything, Buffett. Fela motho ba mo patala ho practice ka pela batho. Ha ke tsena o utlwile ditaba tsa hore Tshidimadi o hlokahetse. And we already know what's behind that. You know, it's ironic over the same day Hlokahala, Helen Ziller was doing some media campaign called K93 or 702 radio station. Bamofa dipalesa, bamo celebrate. The same day Tshidi Hlokahala kalon. Very suspicious. South Africa, enale many politically motivated killings. So, and Raupola Tshidi had humiliated one of these media houses, Anale America Mole Ramaphosa, where Ramaphosa made a fool of himself and the country. But she was there to pick up the slack and at least represent us proudly, make us look good. So Tshidi Aholo Ramohopola because of that incident. But shortly after that, I even recorded a video where I played a few months back. I played exactly that incident where Tshidi defended South Africa and she dispelled that myth, the white G-side. And for me, they targeted her. And Kinana, the same people that were embarrassed by being exposed for Makabona are the ones that basically because guys, it doesn't make sense. As a sharp. You know, I know many people when I do the way and as a thing, but obviously there's no ways of Katabis about to go fella. mare o na le motho e le go botlhala haholo and o na o etsa mosebetsi wa hae o na tseba ntho a etsang hape o na le experience e ngata haholo ke na makatswa fela a kutlwa gore o na le dilemo tse 41 or 42 o na sa shebagale ka re ke motho a dilemo tse kalo o na shebala le motjha kapa e re ke rona shebagala a le monyane o feta dilemo tseo boma 35 34 112. So yeah, taba tsena di re makaditse haholo bane Tshidi was somebody e leng hore I know batho ba kwatile ho bana criticize Jacob Zuma la bua dintho tse itseng ka MK, but apart from ntho tsa dipolitiki, she's one of the bright sparks tsa rona ke na nenele mopedi and wa tseba bapedi ba tswana Basotho re bana ba motho, so that's a loss for rona le setso sa rona because ke motho e leng hore she had a lot of knowledge to offer. And on tla kgona gore a train new journalists coming up to make sure that foundational knowledge and institutional knowledge of journalism doesn't get lost. So it's a big loss in that context for Rona. And it's sad because we know exactly what's going on here. It's not a mystery, guys. It's not a mystery. It wasn't an accident, although they will try to frame it as if it's as a kaposo, but behind the scenes, the politiki. If you're a whistleblower, they're merciless, batho bana ba kgathale nix. Bao bodies a fela live a batho tjena. So South Africa hona jwale ke Banana Republic it's a free for all. We're turning into Colombia and some of these South American countries that are being ran by the cartel and being ran by criminal syndicates. So le rona re se re le mo, and it's a dangerous situation because it's hard to fight for justice when every faculty of the judiciary, of the police force has been captured. So, like it showed last time in that other video, Ramatate, guys, this is something we cannot take lightly. As soon as we get a whistleblower, this is the type of thing that happens. People disappear, but wala. It's frightening stuff, Buffett. Maar rona, etlame re ikemele ka bo rona. And rebele some kind of rebele leano la rona re tlo etella pele jwang hobane ra bona gore batho bana ba re lwantshwang ha se go rona ga ba lwantsha mara bana ba lwantsha rona. We must have a counter, Buffett. I guess dule fela watching our people ba bodiswa on a daily basis because they are trying to stand up for justice or stand up for the right thing. We can't allow that. And it's not easy because as soon as you blala nete in the mainstream, baulat, they target you, bautaula, Buffett agawen. But also at the same time, we must be strong and stand firm for the truth because we know what the truth is. And re ke se dumelle gore batho ba etse se ba se ratang go bana fela bana le power ya ho etsa ntho tseo. Mala ba monana batho bana balla ka baka la hore Gayton McKenzie la sebedisa the K word. What's a Gayton McKenzie ne? Tla mo re mo hlokomelo hobane he obviously has a very big part to play for the elites. Hobane ntho a entseng should have been enough grounds for him to have been removed as an MP and as the leader of the Patriotic Alliance. But for some reason, he has very deep connections and he has protection. And because they're criminals themselves. And to come from jail and to be a member of parliament and to lead a party says everything about South Africa. No, South Africa, yourself, is a criminal organization. Capitalism itself, imperialism itself, the idea of countries are companies that are ran by these big businesses, oligarchs. And these people have built dynasties and empires right under our noses and right under the noses of our ancestors. Pretty much unchallenged. I can tell you now for free, Buffett, there's no use crying and wanting a share, a piece of the pie. It will never happen. But one, they're not going to share anything. These kingdoms and these empires, they need to fall, and they must fall because there's enough pressure that's being put by other cultures that are rising up. China is the number one nation in the world. It didn't take them that long. It took them about 50, 60 years to build themselves back up. And the things that they invested in, it shows you a lot about what they think about themselves and how much self-belief they have in their culture. That's why my last video, ke ne ke buile ka hore re hloka ba le kutlwisiso amongst ourselves, and more importantly, re hloka ho ba le tshepo and belief in each other. Le boitshepehi. We have to be able to trust each other, Buffett, if we're going to move forward in life in any way. So we are far from where we need to be as a nation, as a people, but we must keep working towards building ourselves and building our cultures. Our different cultures, go South Africa, whether umZulu, umXhosa, umopedi, you ubukanyele culture, but balona, and start building within your neighborhoods, within your communities, addressing the challenges and social ills, making sure that people are informed voters. Hore re ska senya vote ena re fuweng yona, at least nyana ya democracy, even though I don't fully believe in democracy. I believe that these votes are rigged. But that's a conversation for another day. For now, majority of the people believe in this system and its potential to liberate us. I don't think it can liberate us, because why would these imperialists give the option for them to be voted out of power? They will never allow it. This is why they will continue to pump money to politicians and political powers to represent their interests as business people and oligarchs, rather than the interests of the people. Democracy is one of the biggest lies. It's the people that rule, the people's vote, and all these philosophies that are. And unfortunately, we've drank the Kool-Aid. We believe so much in system Yamahoa, and we play along instead of developing our own systems that suit setso sa rona le meetlo ya rona re le batho ba batsho. We have very distinct cultures and traditions and practices selling over. They don't go together. Le system ya imperialism Yamahoa. So I hope you guys understand. But I believe so strongly in to build things for ourselves, beginning with our language system. I always emphasize this every day. Without a language system, without alphabet yaron, our own writing system, we are still very much beholden to the Western standard of life. We are still very much beholden to this Western standard of life and the Western way of doing things. We are not fully liberated. Yes, there's systematic oppression that takes place. But obvious, these people, they're in charge. They're going to rig the system. What do you expect? You must create your own system and you must rig it in your favor, in favor of your people and your community. You can't expect a better system and then create equality afterwards. No, they're going to create a system and give themselves the advantage, put themselves at the top, give themselves the businesses, the opportunities. They took the land by force, Buffett. Unfortunately, that was the era in which that's what was happening. People were stealing land, Buffett. People were conquering smaller tribes, smaller nations, invading them, taking land. It still happens today, Buffett. It's not something you can just tell somebody, hey, stop doing this, because people are greedy, people are desperate. And when as a community and as a culture, you have to find a way to stop people from bullying you. Whether that's by building alliances with other strong nations or developing yourselves militarily to the point that crying about it is not going to help. Crying for equality is not going to bring you any solutions, Buffett. I'm sorry to say, but that's the honest truth. Leka protest. I'm not, and mind you, remember, I'm not against protesting. I'm simply saying, hore, we have to find other means of fighting to make sure that we empower ourselves and we empower one another. It cannot be that re inclusion. Mahoa, ne, Buffett, Bongamla, they are not going to include us in these structures that they've built. Okay? What we must do is we must build our own structures. We have to build our own structures. We've got to create our own empires with our own rules, and then we rig our own systems to benefit our own people and our children. That's natural. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of your own. And we're supposed to build alliances with other strong nations. We build alliances with Mazulu, Mapedi, Botswana. We build alliances, we trade amongst ourselves within the Southern African region. And we make sure that George, we must take care of our own, Buffett. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your own. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Antoine, you're supposed to do that, Buffett. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. You take care of your culture, you take care of your people. You put your people first. Hi man, Harwatuka. Yeah. Ke pine ke ratang, ya hot sticks mabuse. Hey, Buffett. Yo, ke ratang pipina yo. Bare add link about dumelo weekend. Hey, whatsoever. Buffett, if it's not your system, ne, you must rig it to your advantage. Like obvious. One thought like a you must rig it to your advantage. You cannot allow yourselves to be left behind ka system alone. If you create the system, you make the rules. Akizena lantola kere. System haibeke alone. You make the rules. Antoine, you're supposed to do that. So, logo now we can't expect people that are trying to build things for themselves must also now they must be thinking about us, and no, they're not thinking about us. Each culture, each nation must build from the ground up, and sometimes it involves violence, it involves conflict. I'm not condoning it, but I'm just letting you know that these are the realities of life. The laws that are created by those who are in charge. They make laws because they've broken every single one of those laws. Now they make laws for you. After they break laws, now they want to make laws and tell you you must be law abiding citizens. After breaking every single law, now they want to come and tell you about democracy and the rule of law. But this is what I'm saying. Imperialism. You cannot feel comfortable living in somebody else's world. You cannot, Buffett. You cannot be comfortable in a structure that somebody else created where they've already marginalized your existence to be no more than a certain level. When you're living in somebody else's world, a world somebody else created. And because of the way these things happen, through violent conflict, through invasions, things of that nature. Of course, you can never feel happy about that, but I promise you, when we start working towards building our nations and our countries and building a sense of pride, we will be resilient, and they will not be able to play around. It won't be possible because we would have made ourselves formidable enough to where anymore. That's where we have to be, or that's what we have to work towards, Buffett. Crying is not going to solve anything. Protesting, yes, makes a lot of impact because it makes people aware of what's going on. But we need other strategies, like I keep saying. We need other strategies. It can't always be, okay, the protest, it's a feeling. No, guys. And I know we can't take things to the courts either because the courts, let's honor, they're corrupt. Get what you see. But I'm saying let's also build our nations, our people. Let's empower one another. We have skills that we can deposit into our communities to make sure that they're being taken care of and that they've got something to look forward to for their futures. You know, the South Africa that we see today was built. Somebody had a vision a long time ago. They're going to enjoy. He had a vision to say, to make sure they enjoy life. And unfortunately, it came at our expense. But like I always say, Buffett, you're supposed to put your culture first. That's normal. Baba. You're supposed to put your people first. That's normal. Baba. You're supposed to put yourselves first. It would be strange if you didn't. It would be strange if you put yourself second. You're supposed to put your people first. Baba. Of course, I don't agree with the method through which these people do what they do. But what I'm trying to say is sometimes these things they get physical. Sometimes these things they get violent. That's just life, Afet. That's just life. I'm not condoning anything. I'm just saying that in reality, it's almost impossible to avoid some type of conflict. They are from a different culture. But we've come a long way to a point where all the different cultures can coexist peacefully in South Africa. And now what I'm saying is for the next generation, the next step for us, we have to work towards We have to work towards we have to work towards what exactly do we want to do with our nations, with our cultures? How do we plan on building and paving a way forward for ourselves? It cannot be that we're still, you know, culture, yes, it's important for it to have history, but it must also evolve. And for it to evolve, there has to be structures and some form of organization that is in place, barena or leadership or leaders that are making sure hore, the culture is progressing, that the people are taken care of, but most importantly, that we're moving forward. Because if we're not moving forward, then something is wrong, you know? And these are things that must be addressed. These are things that really, really need to be addressed because as a people, I think we deserve better. We don't deserve to suffer, but no man can do it on his own. We need one another. Um, we need to be trustworthy. And unity, because without those things we're going nowhere. You can't do it on your own. I know another this tendency about you want to try and do everything on your own. It's come on, man. You're not doing anything on your own in this life. We are doing things together. We're doing things as a community. um that's how we can progress. That's how we can grow. It's the best way to do things. Other nations, look at the Jews. They come together, they work together all the time. Look at the Somalians, the Pakistanis, Indians. There's so many different cultures and communities that understand the concept of working together, and they understand that you're not going very far in life if you can't grasp the idea or concept of working together. I want to. So, hey, but working together is everything. It guarantees success, Buffett. It guarantees it. You see Somalians vafita in your country. The Somalians are everywhere. They're running away from their country. They're in Kenya, they're in South Africa. But they create these networks and communities with links and opportunities to make sure about Wabawana, they always have a way out. And they always have the means to start a new life in a new land, a new territory. Waibwana Tabe. Yeah, hey man, re na le mosebetsi o mongata, ne? Yo, santse na ba mosebetsi o mongata, but guys, it'll all be worth it. In the end, I promise you, it'll all be worth it because we will feel so proud. You know, like other nations, man, it's important for us to feel proud of ourselves and how far we've come and how much we've built. We need to be able to look at ourselves and say, yo, man, we used to be here, now we are here as a nation together. Kaofela rona, not just one person, everyone. Everyone must have that sense of pride to feel like, yeah, no. Hey, re sebeditse mona. Bravo. We must have that feeling, yeah, no. Other nations that have gone through oppression, slavery, you know, they get to a point where they say, yeah, no, man. Re sebeditse here, guys. Yeah, man. You know, now I believe very strongly in setso sa rona. I believe in our abilities to rise out of any situation. Like, I truly believe we are capable. We can. What's going on? And Zigabala Mona, Ebuaka article ring reports suggest that the United States, if the United States pushes for a deal, South Africa could agree to accept deported migrants, similar to the controversial arrangements already signed with Rwanda, South Sudan, and Eswatini. While no agreement has been confirmed, such a move would spark major political and public debate in South Africa. Where migration remains a sensitive issue, critics warn it could put national security and human rights at risk. But fair too, South Africa is being invaded. We are being invaded in broad daylight, and yeah, in broad daylight, Buffett. It's sad. Oh, it's sad, Buffett. We're not really in a position right now to declare war and do something crazy, but what we must do for ourselves at least. Yeah. Volume eo dutse kae? Kapa ntho e timile. How? Mona re ka dlala fela a re dlale ntho e ka thaba bosiu. Ke tshepa gore le ntse le le teng baeso. Re ke bona fela mona rona nka dlala minofe. Hey. Hloka pina tsa lebollo ntate. Tlapeng. Ntse ke na le lona ba feta. Ke se ka re ke imaza. Ja, a re dlale yang. Sure ba feta. Ntse le le teng a ke re baratu. Sharp. Fela le teng ba heso. Fela le teng ba heso. Yeah, ne? Hey, monna. Tshepa gore le ntse le teng ba rena ba heso. A tse ke se ke lapile go le tjenana. Ke ne ke iboleletse gore ke tla be ke jele ka nako ena mara re bona. Ke tseo taba he re se re buile kang re buile ka tshedi madi a hlokahetseng may soul rest in peace ke taba tse bohloko tseo mare hape we know it's foul play ntho tsa South Africa hona jwale di se di tshwana le tsa Colombia re Banana Republic re cartel country captured state tse kaofela mona ho be ka rona ka mona yo o sole ho ba haholo ba fete Sole ho be haholo ba fete yo Aye, we cannot go on like this. That's why we must build our culture. Yeah. Hey, batho. Wa tseba fete ke se ke live stream lo Facebook. Ke ntse ke sa tsebe. Ke ntse ke live stream ona mona Facebook a ka tseba lo tsebe. Ntena e uploadile habedi what's alarm? Oh, ke real. Oh, yena e bontsha ntho e etsalang hona jwale e live. Okay, ke se ke utlwisisa jwale. Ba fete ke mona Facebook le ka mphumana teng ke ntse ke live streama hohle ke tlo fitla lo TikTok matsatsing ana ke tseneng mare le yona e haufi ya tometse ke kopa leng support ko Facebook ke hockey ke rumble a o fela tsona ngwana mme ra chesa ra tuka hona jwale re tle ke kenye ho ona mo ba reng di details hlenne ke kenye hona mo e reng social add social link ya ke yo hlenne ke kena yona YouTube yena ya ka E kae link eo he jwale? Ke link ntho e? Ke bona ntho tse ntle haholo monana. O re ya e linka jwang? O e linkile jwang? Man, currency di tlamereng Free State. Mona Free State. Aba he, so ke tsona taba tsa kajeno. Wa tse ke ne ka batla ho le bontsha ntho nngwe hape. Ke video e nngwe so elang qhazang haholo e bontshang talent ya rona batho ba batsho haholo Basotho. Mo ngwanona wa sekolo, the way a hlalefileng ka teng, o kgona ho itlhalosa ka Sesotho se felletseng, seng sena sa ka sa se kopantshitsweng le sekgowa. Sa hae ke sona se felletseng. O bua ka dipale, di rata hampe ntho tse tjena. Hobane a bontsha hore re na le future re le Basotho. Re le Bapedi, re le Batswana, Bazulu. Tlameha re sebetse ka thata bafethu to build ourselves up. Mara re shebelle ke nana le ka kgahlwa haholo le bona hore le bona ntho e nna ke boneng.
Ke mphatlalatsane
Bona wa sekolo.
Mongodi wa pale ke Estelle Foster ile ya fetolela Sesothong ke Kgotso Maphalla. Buka e ngotswe ka Phupu 1997. Re na le mefuta e mene ya baphethwa. Ya pele ke mophethwa wa sehlooho. Mophethwa wa sehlooho ke mophethwa e le reng diketsahalo di tshitlehile ho yena. Mme mophethwa wa sehlooho ka hara buka ke Ruthe. Re be re ba le mohanyetsi. Mohanyetsi ke mophethwa ya lwantshwanang le mophethwa wa sehlooho. Mme mohanyetsi ka hara buka ya rena ha rena yena. Re be re ba le mohlohlelletsi. Mohlohlelletsi ke mophethwa ya etsang kgohlano pakeng tsa batho ba babedi e tswele pele. Mme ka hara buka ha rena mohlohlelletsi. Re be re ba le baphethwa ba tlatsetso. Baphethwa ba tlatsetso ke ba senang karolo ka hara buka kapa ba sa hlahelleng haholo ka hara buka. Mme baphethwa ba tlatsetso ka hara buka ke Banana, Bashenyana, Mosuwehlooho le Monghadi Patrick Pitso. Tikoloho ke moo pale e etsahalang teng, mme tikoloho ya pale ya rona e metse setoropong. Ke re e metse setoropong hobane ka hara pale ho bua ka dipalangwang le dikolo. Nako ke nane pale e etsahala ya sejwalejwale kapa sekgalekgale. Mme nako ya pale ena ke ya sejwalejwale. Ke re ke ya sejwalejwale hobane ho na le dipalangwang. Mohlala wa sepalangwang ka hara buka ke bese e ne leng re bana ba ne ba tsamaya ka yona ho ya kampong le koloi e leng ya Monghadi Patrick Pitso. Sekolo ha re a bolellwa lebitso la sekolo, empa ho ile ho bua ka sona ka hara buka, mme se ne se tsamahwa ke Ruthe e leng ngwana Monghadi e leng ngwana Maria. Re na le kgohlano, ho ile ho ba le kgohlano ka hara buka, mme kgohlano e bile teng nako Ruthe a ne a lahlehile le sehlopha sa hae ho ya kampong, mme qetellong ho ile ho ba monate ba fumana, mme Maria le Monghadi Patrick Pitso ba ile ba fumana nako ya ho bua ka Maria a bona ka mokgwa mphatlalatsane e tjhabile e hlakile ka teng. Moko taba wa pale ena ke jwale ka ha ho se ho bua hore Maria mohatsa hae o ne a hlokahetse, o ne a sa iphelela le moradi wa hae fela, empa qetellong o ile a iphumanela lerato ho Monghadi Patrick Pitso. Re bone ka mantswe a Monghadi Patrick Pitso, mme a ile a re, nna kgale ke tseba hore o wa ka ke wa hao.
Wow! Yes.
Sehloho sa pale ke mphatlalatsane e tjhabile e hlakile.
Le ikutlwetsang ke yona talent ya re nang le yona puo ena ya rona ya Sesotho. That's why ke reng setso sa rona must never die and can never die hobane that's our future right there, bafethu. And tlameha re sebetse ka thata ho boloka these young girls hore they mustn't end up like bana ba Gauteng le Western Cape ba rekisang mmele ba bethuwang ke ma Nigeria. We must never allow that to happen to these young ones. We must invest in our communities more thing, and we must make sure hore culture ya rona is in good hands with these people. We have to build dikolo bafethu. That's a big one. And dikolo tsa mother tongue yena e re buang Sesotho sana se re se buang, to preserve our ways and our culture. Maburu, they did the same thing. Afrikaners, after the Second Anglo-Boer War, the British Balabafa chance to establish themselves and institutionalize their culture. We have to do the same thing. We must institutionalize our culture. Setso sa rona must not just be in language. It must be institutional. It must be in our structures and in our way of life, and everything must be dependent on our culture, our way of life. So I believe that video is encouraging because we're looking at young people, Belong Hore, majority of them these days, they are drinking or they are addicted to drugs. So it's very encouraging to see a girl this young. One morning, she could even be primary school, and to be so eloquent and fluent Sesotho. Yo, those are the future authors that are going to write Sabukamo, so that are going to write books, make movies, preserve our culture in various ways. So we must protect her. We must protect her, Bafet. We must protect her. We must do whatever it takes to protect our people, Horing. We must protect our people. We must protect our community from Makwerekwere that are trying to end us, that are G-siding us. We must do everything we can to protect our people, to protect our culture. Wonderful. Bafet, ke a tla hona jwale. Ke tlo le siya ka mmino ona hanyane.
you
Buffett, I'm going to end this stream here. I'm going to go back to back with another one. Kitalabona very shortly. I'm already working on the new video concept. I'm got a new idea. Gotta drop it soon. But thanks for tuning into this one. Gonna happen next time. Shop, shop.